The country was very liberal back then. The clothes, the music, the college syllabus, all of it was quite progressive. So Khomeini went about dismantling it. He banned most democratic political parties, he shut down several magazines and newspapers, and in 1981 he began a cultural revolution. Universities were shut for 2 years. In this time, the syllabus was totally changed. Progressive ideas out, political Islam in. Almost 20,000 teachers were fired. Apparently, they were too westernized. Now, all of this did trigger some backlash. Iran's liberals and Marxists were not happy with Khomeini. So he needed someone to crack down on them. The army was not an option. In 1953, the Iranian army had sided with Western powers. Together, they had toppled Iran's elected leader. During the revolution, the army had promised to remain neutral, but Khomeini was wary. He did not trust them enough. So the supreme leader turned to his own militia, the Islamic Revolutionary Guards. It was different and independent from Iran's army, and it reported to just one man, Supreme Leader Khomeini. By 1982, the Guards got their own overseas wing, and in 1985, a Navy and Air Force. All of this with Khomeini's blessings. The Guards were also deployed inside Iran, sort of like a moral police. They would go around enforcing the Sharia, like asking women to cover their faces or forcing men to grow beards. And all of this made one thing quite clear: Iran's revolution was not going to be democratic or progressive. It was going to be hardline Islamist, which often led to political chaos. Iran's first elections were held in January 1980. Abul Hassan Bani Sadr became president. He was an advisor to Khomeini, but he wasn't a hardliner, not like the supreme leader. Just one problem though. Bani Sadr did not control the parliament. Most lawmakers belonged to the Islamic Republic Party, a radical group formed by Khomeini loyalists. So pretty soon they clashed. Bani Sadr proposed 3 names for his prime minister. All 3 were rejected by parliament. Khomeini did try to settle these differences, but soon it boiled over. Bani Sadr became a rallying hero for dissidents, and Khomeini did not like this. He supported the impeachment of Bani Sadr. So the president ended up fleeing to France. What followed next was a purge. Opposition party members were arrested in the thousands. Many of them were executed. Some exiled Iranians say the regime killed 20,000 political prisoners. Of course, sometimes they hit back. Like in August 1981, Iranian dissidents bombed the Islamic Republic Party's headquarters. They killed the new president and his prime minister. So the first few years of the revolution were quite violent. Iran was still struggling with its identity, but stability came in late 1981. After the bombing, another presidential election was held, the third one in 21 months. This time, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was elected. You may know him as the supreme leader today, but in the 1980s, he was the president. Khamenei served 2 terms until 1989. Iran's politics during this time was very complicated, mostly because of the power structure. On the one hand, it was a theocracy. Sovereignty did not lie with the people, it lay with God. On the other hand, it was a revolutionary republic, so you couldn't ignore the people. This hybrid structure led to a lot of complications, not to mention bickering. First, you have the president. He decides economic and administrative policy, but he does not control the military. Then you have the parliament. It has around 290 seats. All lawmakers are directly elected by the people, but the parliament is not absolute. Its laws are checked by another body, that is the Council of Guardians. Now, this council has 12 members. 6 of them are appointed by the supreme leader. The rest are suggested by the judiciary. You can guess where these suggestions really come from, but the council's job is very important. Say the parliament passes a law, this council will see whether it conforms with the Sharia. If not, it can crack down. So effectively, the council has a veto over parliament. It also decides who can stand for elections. Just consider the 1997 presidential election. 230 candidates wanted to contest. Only 4 made it to the ballot. Another powerful body is the Assembly of Experts. We mentioned this at the start. It's the same one that drafted Iran's constitution, but now its job is different. This assembly has 86 Iranian clerics. They are elected to 8-year terms by the public. And who decides the candidates? Again, the Council of Guardians. The assembly's main job is to elect the next supreme leader. And I know the structure may sound complicated, but one thing is quite clear. All these bodies draw power from the same place: the supreme leader of Iran.